You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Washburn County Board recently voted to approve designating a number of county forest roads as ATV and UTV routes. Under the resolution, nearly all of the county forest roads in the town of Casey, Chicago, Springbrook, Frog Creek, Stinnett, Gulf Lake, and Monong have been approved for ATV and UTV use. Shingle Campfire Lane in the town of Baronet was also approved for ATV and UTV use, but only when the snowmobile trail system is officially open. All other county forest roads will remain closed to ATV and UTV use. A Hayward man is facing felony drug and theft charges after law enforcement authorities responded to a domestic disturbance earlier this week. According to a press release from the Sawyer County Sheriff's Office, authorities responded to a domestic disturbance call in the Northwoods Beach community of the LCO reservation on Sunday morning. During the investigation, they allegedly discovered 53-year-old Daniel Corbine was in possession of over 25 grams of methamphetamine, 70 oxycodone pills, and a vehicle that had been reported stolen in Minnesota. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers has announced he will not be seeking a third term in the 2026 election. In a statement on Thursday, Governor Evers highlighted his dedication to promoting education during his time as governor, including using his partial veto power in the 2023-2025 biennial budget to extend school funding increases for the next 400 years. Governor Evers was first elected to state office as superintendent of public instruction in 2009. He was re-elected at that position twice before running for governor in 2018. The American Red Cross is highlighting a number of blood donation events in the northwest Wisconsin region over the next few weeks. Organization officials say keeping up with donation needs is especially difficult during the summer months. They say hospitals across the country are specifically in need of more blood platelets and type O blood during this time of year, but donations of all kinds are needed as well. The next blood drive event is scheduled for July 30th and 31st in Rice Lake, with opportunities in Barron and Chautauqua throughout August. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is inviting residents to this year's Farm Technology Days event from August 5th to 7th. The yearly event gives residents a chance to check out some of the latest developments in the agricultural industry, including new technology and research. The DNR will have a tent at the event where officials will share information on conservation efforts, management practices, and offer free nitrate screenings for private well owners. This year's Farm Technology Days event will take place in Waupaca County. The Wisconsin Public Service Commission is sharing helpful tips with residents on keeping their homes cool while also saving energy. With another stretch of hot weather rolling through the state, residents looking to stay cool and save money can take some simple steps like keeping their blinds and curtains closed, unplugging electronics like their television when they're not being used, and making sure their air conditioner's filter is clean. Officials are also reminding residents that it is illegal for utility companies to disconnect electrical services during a heat advisory. The Barron County woman who was attacked by a black bear near her Cumberland home earlier this month has been discharged from the hospital. The 69-year-old woman was attacked on July 12th, but managed to escape and call for help. Law enforcement authorities shot at the bear when they arrived at the scene, but it escaped, and Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources officials have not yet been able to track it down. They say the black bear displayed unusually aggressive behavior in the attack, and they plan to euthanize it and assess its condition. The Duluth Economic Development Authority and City Council terminated the contract with the developer of a $500 million housing project this week. The project would have seen the former Duluth Central High School site converted into a housing complex called Incline Village. The city had previously given the developer 45 days to meet certain deadlines, pay taxes on the property, or provide proof that they could fund the project going forward. The developer requested another extension, saying he's suing his bank for not providing the funds. The State Assembly's Transportation Committee held a hearing this week on a proposed bill seeking to close a loophole allowing ATVs and UTVs registered out of state to circumvent Wisconsin's regulations. The proposed legislation would specify that only vehicles that meet the state's definition of ATV or UTV will be allowed to operate on public trails and routes. Lawmakers say that circumventing those regulations undermines the state's registration system, local control over ATV and UTV trails, and overall public safety. A recent Milwaukee Journal Sentinel analysis found that the number of immigration arrests in Wisconsin has doubled since President Donald Trump's second term began. According to the analysis, the average number of ICE arrests in the state jumped from 37 per month to 85 per month. The analysis also found that the rate of people without criminal records being arrested in the state is 5 times higher compared to the end of President Joe Biden's term. That includes people who are accused of immigration violations, which are mostly civil offenses, not criminal offenses. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
A Brewers anniversary. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball. The Brewers host the Miami Marlins at American Family Field, where they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the opening of the ballpark. Food discount specials, special events planned for the fans. After the game, a home run derby featuring former players like Prince Fielder, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. The Brewers with the best record in baseball heading into this weekend series. Golf. The winner of the Wisconsin State Amateur Golf Championship is a teenager. 18-year-old Vince Siegel sank a birdie putt on the first playoff hole after shooting a 4-under 68 in the final round. NFL Packers training camp practices continue. How's it going so far?
Yesterday was pretty clean. I thought our guys did a good job of competing, but also taking care of one another, because ultimately we need everybody healthy for us to be at our best. By and large, our guys did a good job of competing, getting the work in, but also taking care of one another.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Many blame the cancellation of The Late Show with Steve Colbert on the Paramount-Skydance merger deal and say it was political, including Colbert, who had some choice F-words for the president. If it was political, Paramount should have thought harder about which presidential adversary to fire. The studio just gave Trey Parker and Matt Stone $1.5 billion in a new contract. During the much-anticipated Season 27 debut episode, Parker and Stone wrote a blistering takedown of the president. The story involved a romantic or sex scene between Trump and Satan and also showed the president taking off all his clothes in the desert. Maybe Colbert got fired because he wasn't dirty enough? Here's a story that might not feel so good about a guy who made us feel so good. Trumpet expert Chuck Mangione has passed away at the age of 84. Mangione was known for his tune Feels So Good, which was a big hit in the 70s. It was a great tune. Rest in peace, Chuck. Hulk Hogan is no longer with us. The man who tried to fix wrestling matches to protect his image, notoriously used horrible racial slurs, organized a fake presidential campaign, joked about body slamming Kamala Harris, stonewalled a wrestlers' union, took steroids, allegedly caused the breakup of a friend's marriage, and falsely claimed to play bass for Metallica, has passed away. Those offering tributes include the president, who says he will be missed, he was MAGA all the way, and the lovable Vince McMahon, who said Hogan was a global phenomenon. I guess those are tributes. Hulk Hogan was 71. Well, the people begged for it, and Hollywood listened. As a result, there will be a new Air Bud. In the first Air Bud, a young grieving boy befriends a dog who he finds out is great at basketball. In the new Air Bud, a young grieving boy finds a VHS tape of his father's dog, then befriends the same breed of dog who is great at playing basketball. Word on the street is that the new Bud will be a much better baller due to much better CGI. Leave it to Studio A24 to take a different approach to the romantic comedy. Materialists, starring Pedro Pascal, who is now officially in every movie released this year, Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans received good critics' reviews and decent audience reviews. Johnson plays a matchmaker trying to decide between her perfect match and an imperfect ex. Oh, the film is now available to stream on Amazon Prime. Native Wisconsinite Carrie Coon is getting some career props, and it's about time. Coon was nominated for an Emmy for her role as Lori Duffy on Season 3 of White Lotus. Coon plays a woman on vacation with her two oldest friends, played by Leslie Bibb and Michelle Monaghan, as they build each other up and backstab each other all at the same time. This is Coon's third Emmy nomination. She also received one for The Gilded Age in 2024 and Fargo in 2017. But this time, she is the odds-on favorite to actually win the award. GoldDerby.com gives Coon a 65% chance of winning the award this time around. Not sure how that was tabulated, but on Wisconsin. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny today. We'll get to around 85 for a high this afternoon. Tonight, scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, are low in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms possible with a high right around 86. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.